But thankfully, most people knew that this whole thing is a scam.
Hello.
Hi, sir. My name is Grace. I'm calling you from Windows Technical Support. How are you doing today?
I can't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Windows Technical Support. I'm calling you from Windows. So
Windows.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you see out the window? Is that what you're asking me? I can't hear you very good. Can you see?
Technical Support.
Okay, so you're looking out your window.
We have received an error report from your computer.
What?
So can you switch on your computer? Bye. Go to hell. Go to hell.
But perhaps the most surprising thing about this whole business was the fact that there was a night and a day operation. The day operation did genuine work. They did help other businesses set up on Amazon for reselling their products, and they seemed to have some sort of relationship with DirecTV. But all of this changed in the evening time. Around about 8 or 9 local time, a different group of people would enter the building, but use the same PCs that had been used for genuine purposes earlier in the day. But I wanted to know exactly how much money they were making on these scams. But they kept a careful note of this on spreadsheets, so I was able to see exactly how much they made. They had been running the scam for over 2 years, and in that time they'd acquired over 3,000 victims. The average payment was about $500, and the top payment was well over $5,000 from one victim. That meant that they defrauded more than $800,000 in 2 years. But the victims wouldn't make these payments directly to DK Business Patron. They had set up a couple of shell companies in the USA so that they could handle both card payments and checks. Here we're going to be watching one scammer and his screen at the same time. This is a blown up version of the screen on the right hand side, and you can watch and track exactly what he's doing. The victim's name is Cindy.
Okay, so ma'am, note down this is the name, High Tech 365 LLC. That's the company name. And please note it down. And right under, High Tech 365 LLC.
Okay. 365 LLC at 400.
Yeah, 400 Rella Boulevard. That's my mailing address.
Okay.
The address is for a company called iPostal One, which is a digital mailbox service. Amongst other things, they will receive checks in the post and forward them to the company who need to receive them. It's an excellent way of receiving checks from victims without having to be in the same country. Their other shell company is called Connect to Home. Bizarrely, the word connect is spelt wrongly. And at the time of this video going live, the Connect to Home website is still available, unlike the High Tech 365, which got taken down as soon as the police raided the offices. However, even if these get taken down, you can always see the contents on the Wayback Machine. I've left links in the description. The other company name, Connect to Home, had exactly the same address, but just a different suite number.
New York, and what's the zip code? 10901?
Correct.
Okay. And I'll send you the bill, $162.99.
Right.
The scammers relied on a bit of technobabble to make convincing sounding diagnosis, but none of the faults.
And I'll send you the bill, $162.99.
Right.
The scammers relied on a bit of technobabble to make convincing sounding diagnosis, but none of the faults were ever real. But very occasionally, a scammer would have a bit of conscience.
Hello?
Yeah.
Barbara, how you doing?
Okay.
Okay, so ma'am, this is Steven Bracewell, and I'm calling you from a Windows Microsoft. Okay? Ma'am? Yes. Your computer guy, ma'am. From Windows Microsoft.
I don't have a computer, okay?
You don't have computer?
No.
How old are you, ma'am?
88.
88. Okay, I understand, but you sounds like you are very young.
I don't have a computer and I don't have a cell phone, okay? That's it.
I understand, ma'am. Bye bye. Thank you. बॉस सर बहुत बढ़िया है सर. इससे चेक लिखवा लेते ना, मुझे बहुत दया आती. तो आवाज भी कड़क थी बहुत. How old are you? 88.
So when scammers say that their victims sound so young, this is the truth behind what they really think. But who runs this organisation? The answer is very easy because his name is all over the business. This person is called Deepak Kumar, and he, together with his sister Pooja, are the directors of this company. And he knows exactly what goes on. Here he is during one of those night shifts, collecting water bottles to make sure that all of his scammers are well watered. It's thirsty work, scamming elderly people in the USA at 5 in the morning Indian time. But this channel isn't just about showing what scammers do, it's also here to try and bring down some of these scammers, and that's where I needed the help of a wider team. Even to get this footage, including some of the audio, I needed help from my friend Midnight. Check out his version of the video, it's in the description. But I really wanted to see if there was anything that could be done for all the people who had lost money to these fake companies. And for that, I needed the police in Delhi to look carefully into DK Business Patron and see what they were really up to at nights. And it is absolutely essential that the police gather their own evidence independently. I've had run-ins with scammers before, like this lot. And when you can hire very expensive lawyers who will argue things like YouTube videos can be faked, and this is absolutely true, or indeed that AI or IO, as in these court documents, could have faked it, and the police certainly aren't going to have the resources to forensically examine videos. And that's why the police have to gather their own evidence. I needed the assistance of someone who can liaise directly with the Delhi police. And that's where I needed my friend Sven. Sven has his own YouTube channel. Again, he has a video, it's linked in the description, and he was able to liaise with the Delhi police to try and get a raid conducted. Videos are not enough for the police, they need a statement from victims to say that money has been stolen, so I managed to get a few of these victims to write directly to the police. And a few painful weeks later, we were told that indeed a raid would be conducted. But on the day of the raid, things got a little bit strange. The team who would normally cold call pretending to be Microsoft were instead doing the legitimate work which normally happened during the day. A number of the PCs which had been used for scamming were strangely being reset. But most strangely of all, the cameras which we'd been able to watch for months at this point, the ones covering the scam floors, strangely those cameras seemed to be switched off. And then the people who would normally scam during the night were let go much earlier than normal. In fact, they'd all vacated the building around 30 minutes before the raid actually happened. There is no doubt that someone knew exactly what was about to happen. So when the raid started about 30 minutes later, we could only see the outside cameras, and therefore that's all the scammers could see as well. So when the lead officer marched up to the gates of DK Business Patron, initially the doors weren't even open for them. Instead, there was a flurry of activity at the top of the stairs. There were people running around with laptops, and eventually the guard just peered down to see who was knocking on the door. Indeed, it was a full 3 minutes before the police were actually allowed access to the building. You have to wonder what this delay was all about. Perhaps they weren't ready. But when they did eventually gain access to the building, the lead investigator ran up the stairs, and the first thing he did was that he seemed to slap the guard, followed by another guy in a green shirt who did exactly the same. But what the scammers didn't bank on was our ability to get audio. None of these cameras actually support audio, but thanks to Midnight's ingenuity, Every single telephone in the building can be turned into a listening device, and this is what we heard as they attempted to figure out what to do before the police came in. And a little later, whenever the police asked the guard why he didn't open the door immediately, the guard explains that he had to have a pee.
Don't wait for fate. Download Bumble now.
I guess whenever the police are knocking on your door, it is very important to have that pee before you open it. There's still a lot more to be told about this story. I haven't even mentioned the time whenever Carl Rock went to film outside and he was nearly caught by the people watching him. We also sent another YouTuber actually inside these scam offices, and with a GoPro in his hand, he managed to film himself together with the scammers. Pretty brave or pretty stupid, you can decide. Please check the links in the description if you'd like to see the videos from all the people that helped me.